Well, this is a moment of truth here. Thanks to my father-in-law Al, I've got this pepper of indeterminate origin. It's identified with a question mark on the baggie in which it came. You can see 7-pot Naga and then question mark, which I think the Nagas are the top 1 or 2 hottest peppers in the world. I've just finished making a special batch of salsa with this, along with some sauteed jalapeno and some chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. I nibbled a little bit off the end of this, and it was some immediate heat, some very intense immediate heat. So far I've had a Ghost and a Carolina Reaper raw, both of which very intense, but not as intense as I'd suspected. However, there's a fair amount of fear and trepidation in me as I approach this, because that one little bite was pretty hot. So I'm going to give it a shot. I have some Boddington's Pub Ale standing by to help me out should it get intense, and give this a shot. So it's about 1/3 of the pepper, 2/3 of it went into the salsa with a ton of other stuff, sugar and salt, mostly salt, just a very little bit of sugar to kind of even out the heat. Some vinegar. I've got Carolina Reaper and some ghost peppers in a brine that I made. I'm trying my hand at pickling. Thought maybe I'd put a little bit of the brine in as it's been sitting in the peppers. Hopefully it's hot, but we'll see. So here you can see the piece, seeds completely intact, everything. If it's anything like the ghost pepper, the heat should be concentrated not only in the seeds and the veins, but throughout the flesh of the pepper as well. And I will do my best to comment on the flavor as well as the heat, because if experience is anything to go by, there's a lot of flavor in these. So so far the flavor is nothing like the Ghost of the Carolina. Both of those very fruity. If you eat a habanero, you get a very pleasantly fruity flavor. The Carolina Reaper and the Ghost that I ate raw had sort of an exaggerated fruity flavor. This one is not a lot of flavor, to be honest. It's not unpleasant on the flavor scale. The heat is sudden. I feel like it's a different heat than the other two. Concentrated all in the mouth. It's hot, as one would expect, but not as hot as one would expect. My wife is in the background looking bemusedly and confusedly at me.
No, not confusedly.
Bemusedly, she corrects me. You can tell who the sane one in this relationship is. It's hot, and it's still coming. It has not abated in any way, but I don't know, it's not the blitzkrieg that I was expecting. Although, if you're new to peppers, I will tell you one thing. If you've just eaten something very hot and you're tempted to cough, be careful, because what that'll do is it kicks some of the oil back from your tongue into your throat, which is taking the pain and inviting it in. That's like in vampire lore, they can't come in unless you invite them. And coughing, when you've just eaten something hot, is like saying, don't stand there in the foyer, please, come inside, step into the living room. Do some real damage. So, it's, not as hot as I'd expected. But a pleasant heat, mild flavor, very pleasant heat, actually. I'm not feeling overwhelmed or anything. Getting a bit of the endorphins. That's a good pepper. I hope Alpha has more. It was very good, actually. So, I'm not sure there's going to be any fireworks at this point, so I'm going to sign off.